be recorded.
Hey guys, welcome to the weekly watch list. I'm going to be going over a couple different sectors and industries today. So let's start off with it. Let's go into the S&P 500, which is the parent of SPY, SPY, and SPX. So here we can see these yellow lines are uptrending lines. And we could see here we had developed a rising wedge and we broke down from it. And here it looks like we're establishing another rising wedge, but it doesn't look like the top is until about 3,000. So we still got some room. We still got some room to it. So let's go down to daily, and we can see that we still got some room to that 3,000 mark, but we do have that resistance heading up right there. Okay, let's go to the hourly because we have this nice hourly uptrending channel here, and we've been holding it. Every time we get out of it, it jumps right back in it. As you can see that this 29.61.25 has been strong resistance, and that is monthly and weekly breakout. So that's why it's been strong resistance. We, got that resistance here, 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 and here. And right now we are outside this channel again, but every time we fall back, we end up getting back in it. So we can consolidate in between this cup and handle support and this breakout area leading into Tuesday. Maybe that's going to give us the move. Maybe, this is just going to consolidate until what happens on Tuesday, or we might rally into Tuesday based off of just good merit that they're showing up to the top. But above 29.61.25, we're essentially going to 29.70 and 29.80. Those are going to be our targets. Now, if we drop and we get below 29.52.75, essentially our target is 29.45 and then 29.35 to back test that breakout. This has been holding so long. I anticipate a push higher, but you never know what's going to happen, what news or what event or what kind of wrench they're going to throw in. But I'm going to go over all the other sectors, and I'm going to tell you why I think that it's going to continue to push higher based off of what those sectors are telling me and the overall market. All right, so let's go into crude oil, because oil is a big thing right now with the Iran situation. So let's go to our monthly chart, and we could see that oil or crude fell real hard from its highs and dropped all the way down to essentially 26, and then came up and started basing right here in this $40 to $50 range. And we broke that box consolidation and moved up, and then came back inside of it, but rallied right back out of it, and then came back and rallied back out of it again. So this is a strong support zone right here in the 50s and 40s. So it gets in there and it's going to jump right back up. I'm anticipating that oil wants to push higher into the 60s and 70s, but we'll have to wait till more information. But as of right now, it doesn't look like it wants to stay in the 50s. So looking at the weekly, we could see these strong buy candles, strong buy candles, strong buy candles. Right now on the daily, I'm anticipating that we push to 59.70, and we have a cluster of moving averages right here. So that's going to be strong resistance. But we have a double bottom right here. So that double bottom is essentially telling us that we're going to be going back to this high, because that's what double bottoms do. We do one bottom, two bottom, and then we go and test that high again. and that high is 59.70. So I'm anticipating a push to that 59.70. If we get above that push, which is also this downtrending line, if we could get above that 59.70 and hold it, we're essentially going to be pushing to the 63.71 and testing this other downtrend. And if we get above that 63.71, then essentially we're going to be going to 68 and 70s and even 80s if the whole thing with Iran escalates even more. Okay, so in doing that, what do we want to do? We want to look at XLE, which is the energy index. So here we go. We could see that on the monthly chart, we've been in this box consolidation for a while now. We broke out of it here, but then got right back in it here. And we could see that every time it hits here, it comes back here, comes back here. And now we hit here, found some resistance here, came back, but we never tested this low, and we pushing up from there. That looks good. That looks good, like it wants to push higher. So let's go to the weekly, see what that looks like. Weekly, big strong buy candles. We broke the downtrend on a big buy candle. That's good. That's telling us that, hey, this wants to go higher. Where essentially does it want to go? Well, currently, XLE, as long as this uptrend holds, it should push to 64 and 65, and then it should get some resistance there. But essentially, where I want to see this going is the 68 area. Or moreover, going back to the weekly, I want to see it come and test this 200-day moving average at 67.82, which is about 68. So about that 68 area, I want to see that oil come back and come test that, because that's some good resistance. So I want to see it come test that, and if it gets above that, then we should be pushing back into towards that 70 area. As long as we break and close above that 68.80, we could go, that would be the green light to go to 67.79 and test that area and see if that's going to hold, or if it'll break through and we go back to the 80s and 90s for oil. But as of right now, we're looking at 65 and potentially 68 to be long oil. So if you want individual stocks, we look at XOM. So on XOM, we could see that we have a descending triangle on its weekly chart. And big strong candle, big strong candles here, big strong candles. We got a squeeze forming to the upside. This 78.58 bullish above that, above 81.45, even more bullish above that. So here we're going to be hitting some resistance here, but we're going to be hitting that real resistance right here at that 78.58. We get above that though, and 81.45 is definitely in the game, and we can see that's a gap fill. So that's going to be a strong target to be anticipating, that 81.45 gap fill and the 200-day weekly. That's a strong, strong magnet right there. Should pull price towards that. Now, if we break this downtrend, then we're going higher. If not, then we're going to be consolidating inside of this triangle pattern, descending triangle pattern, until we break out either way. I think that we go up higher and we push higher on ExxonMobil. Another one, Valero. We had a nice support here, and we had a potential double bottom. So from this high, we dropped bam, and then we made this high, and then we dropped bam, making that double bottom, and now we're pushing from that. So first area of interest is this 89.29. So that's where we're going essentially first. If we break that and we get above these moving averages, but essentially if we break this high of 92.70, if we break that high of 92.70, break that high of 92.70 and we hold that, we're essentially going back to this 120 area, and oil is just going to rally on up if we break this high of 92. Right now we're going to that 89, and you know that's a nice move from where we're at right now. We're at 81.91, so that's about, you know, a nice $8 move higher. If we go to that 92, that's a nice $10 move higher. So oil still got room to run. It still got legs. I would be long oil, especially with all this Iran talk and issues that they're having. So Valero, XOM, CVX, so Chevron. So looking at the weekly, that we had a downtrending channel, broke out of that, back tested. Now we're pushing big strong candles. Let's go to the daily. We have this uptrend. Looks like it wants to push. Once we break that 127.34, we're going to push to that 130s, or 135 essentially. This one looks good also for longer term. Might consolidate a little before push up, but I still see that oil looks good for the long term. For a push higher, definitely push higher. So let's look at technology now, XLK. So let's look at the monthly chart. So the monthly chart, we can see a nice bullish uptrend. Here we broke down and now we're testing that uptrend again. We're trying to get above it and reclaim it, but we got rejected. But then this one wants to get that bullish engulfing. If we get that bullish engulfing and we reclaim that uptrend, that will be that'd be very strong, and this would be the correction, and then we'll have a continuation and we're going to start a nice rally again to that 100 mark. So if we can get that continuation, that'd be awesome, and we'll break out technology, and all your major technology stocks like Apple will rally on up as well. So let's take a look at Apple. Well, let's look at the daily really quick. So here we're holding this uptrend line. So as long as that holds, we're going to attempt that breakout of 79.70. If it breaks out, that's going to be good. And we're going to be hitting all-time highs and essentially going towards that 85 area. If we break this uptrending channel, then we're going to come back and test the 76 and fill some gaps. So we got some gaps down here, so we could fill this gap and then fill this gap if we break this uptrend. So let's look at Apple. So Apple, on the monthly chart, we could see that it had a bearish engulfing, and now it's trying to push and attempt a bullish engulfing. And if it gets it, it needs to get above 209.88. Now, it is taking steps towards that way. The first step was to get above 198.10, and it has done that. It closed this week above 198.10, so that's good. We still need a $10 move this week to push Apple to that 109.88 and higher, and just a little bit higher just to close. On the daily, we could see that it's been holding at 198 for the past 4 days. 1, 2, 3, 4. We got above it, held it, held it, held it. So as long as we hold 198.10 or 198, we can, stick to that 209.88 as target for Apple. Essentially, hopefully we get to that 211, maybe get some really good news and a nice big pop rally this week. If we lose that 198, then we're going to this 194.26 to gap fill and essentially gap fill that and then hold that 50-day before making its next move. All right. So we did Apple, XLK. So let's look at XLY. So XLY is consumer discretionary. So XLY had this nice bullish uptrend and it's still maintaining it. It had a pullback to that monthly support. It held it, okay, and then it tried to break out to new all-time highs and then reversed hard, but then held the weekly support, and now it's trying to do a bullish engulfing on the monthly chart, and it just needs a little bit more and it'll get it. And if that gets it, then that's any kind of give us confidence that this is going to push on to the 128 and 132 area and rally on up. If we can do that, we're right at the all-time highs right here, pretty much, only $1 away, $2 away. So as long as we maintain above 118, we should be good to go to break that 120.90. And if we break that 120.90, we're going straight to 123.65. XLY looks good. XLY looks good. So Amazon and Netflix should be looking good as well. So let's look at Amazon. And we could see that if we go to the monthly chart, we can see Amazon has this nice bull flag and it's trying to engulf this candle by this candle. So we need to get above or 1933. So if we get above that 1933 by the end of this week and close above that, then we're going to engulf that candle and we could be pushing on to the 2000s very, very soon. As long as we engulf that candle and then the next month we don't get any of the another bearish engulfing and reverse. As long as we could hold that and then we get some continuation, we're going to be in the 2000s. If we break that 2050 or that 2050.50, then we should be heading towards that 2353 area on Amazon. All right, so it's XLY, then let's go to XLC. This is communications. So communications ETF, and this is where Facebook will be in. So here we have a nice bull flag on our monthly chart, and here we could see that we held that monthly support and we're attempting to get a bear or a bullish engulfing for that bearish engulfing candle. So if we push higher here and close above 50.33, then we'll get that engulfing and be setting up to push to all-time highs. And if that happens, that's going to be a good thing for Facebook. You could see here it held the monthly support and pushed up, held the weekly support currently, and we're going to be bullish above 94. So as long as this holds, it's 94 area, we're going to be bullish to 49.94, and then essentially to 50.87, which is a gap fill, this gap fill right here. So this gap fill here, we should be pushing there. And if we close above here, then we're getting that engulfing. If we break out, that's even better. That's even better. So we need to close above 50 to get that engulfing. If we close above 51.34, that's even better by the end of the week. Then we're definitely going to all-time highs and breaking out. And that's going to pull Facebook with it. And Facebook is looking really good as well. Going to the monthly chart, We can see that it held the monthly and the weekly, and it's trying to get that engulfing as well. So this is trying to push up and try to close above 195, 194.80. 194.80 needs to close above for this week. To get that, hopefully it pushes up and we get into the 200s. We do have some resistance coming above in the 200s, 203, 202 area. We can see that this resistance here is going to be at that 203, 202 area. So we'll be watching there to see if it has resistance there and if it's rejecting. If that happens, then we'll assess the situation then. But Facebook looks good to the 200s, so it has holding this uptrending trend line, bullish engulfing on the daily. Looks good to push up higher. All right, so that was Facebook, XLC. We did Apple, RTN. Take a look at RTN. So RTN, we've been watching. It hit this weekly support last week, held it, pushed up, and it's looking good. Has a nice little uptrend. Buy volume is increasing. I like this for a long play. Considering the Iran situation and everything, I really like it for a longer term play. I think it's going to increase. I think military spending isn't going anywhere. I think it's going to increase, and Raytheon is going to benefit from that, and that's going to push up higher. Okay, UDX also. We've been watching UDX for but about 2 weeks now. Last week I said, watch it. Don't do anything yet. We could see this nice inverse head and shoulders setting up, and it's holding that weekly support, just what we like to see. So we know that the inverse head and shoulders is an accumulation pattern. So they're accumulating shares right now, and we don't know exactly when it's going to take off, but we know that this pattern is gonna be a takeoff pattern. So if we want to buy here, we can. We just need to buy very long. We need to buy like 70 days out or even a year out. Buy a yearly option, because when this thing runs, it has the potential to hit 170. So that's a $50 increase. So that'd be a nice long play. But here it took a couple months before it rallied up. So this could take one more month before it rallied up. So you want to get at least 70 days out so that you can participate when it does move up. You don't have to worry about the time. All right, so that one looks good. If we look at the weekly, we could see the consolidation and run up, and here the consolidation, and then might be in 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks, and then it will run up. But it looks very, very good. Very, very good. All right, guys. I went over crude oil, ES, SPY. Let's go into the QQs. So QQs, triple Qs, we can see that it has like the same pattern that the ES has, and we still have room up here. So if we break out, if we break this 191.32, we're essentially going to this 195, 197 area, and that's going to be where the resistance is. So that 195, 197 area, that's where we want to be looking to take profits and to watch to see if it breaks down or whatnot. If it breaks through and pushes up, then great. We still have some resistance up here. Maybe we get into a channel up here and start, getting into a higher channel. But as of right now, when it hits this 195 area, be on the lookout. Maybe take some profits. 197, definitely take some profits, because this thing could, pull back and drop down. All right. So we went over oil, we went over XLK technology, went over XLY, consumer discretionary, went over XLC, communications, we went over XLE, energy, and they're all looking good. We are heading towards some resistance, so just keep in mind of that. If we do get a pop or if we do get a rally, keep in mind of those areas of sell points because that could save you. All right. All right, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Give it a thumbs up if you like. Leave a comment. And let me know what you thought. All right. Thanks, guys.